everything. The way I walk, the way I breathe. Will my fate shift into the night? But here I am, same old thing. Thinking deep, no ecstasy. Reality haunts the living mind. If I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off about the same mistake. Darling, where you going? It won't be as simple for you.
Oh dear. Yo, guys. It's Old Man G here, back again with another match reaction. Brighton 1, Manchester United 0 in what was the last, basically the last kick of the game, effectively. Luke Shaw. I mean, I know a lot of people out there that are actually going to be blaming Luke Shaw. By the way, if you want to come on, I've forgotten, I'll post the link in the chat, the StreamYard link. So if you'd like to come on to the show, just click the StreamYard link. I'll pin it in the chat. I'll just do that now. But yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to Toman in the chat who says, I'm going to keep saying Liverpool the biggest threat to top 4. And then Mega says, hashtag Luke Shaw Marino was right about the... No, I mean, I think a lot of people are going in at Luke Shaw. I mean, I actually was going to say, it's so funny because before they scored the goal, I was about to put the thumbnail was literally, for those who were early, would have seen Bissaka and Luke Shaw, were great. Were man of the matches. Don't smoke, man. Don't smoke. Relax, man. Come on. I see you in the back, man. Why do you always come onto the show when Manchester United lose, man? Why weren't you here like other weekend when we beat Villa? I had the open chat for that. You weren't here, but I will bring you on in a second when I have my piece. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think overall the banter play, Brighton obviously did deserve to win. I think if everyone watched my preview, I did say that I wasn't expecting a win. I think United's away form, unfortunately, against the top 9 of this has been pretty bad. Has been very, very bad. I don't think there's been a single win, and Ten Hag has to come into scrutiny for that. No win against City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Brentford, etc. away from home. At home, it's a different story. So, but at the end of the day, for this game in particular, yes, we got our draw against the Spurs, but again, bottled that 2-0. Should have won that game. So I do think that, you have to, I think the first thing is that you have to look at Ten Hag's in-game management. The in-game management that we've had in the second half. Usually United play well in the first half, do well, and we think, yes, okay, we're doing well, etc. It's almost like the reverse Ollie, because with Ollie, we start shit or start bad, and then in the second half, we would come up, and if anything, that's better. But with Ten Hag, we start well, but for whatever reason, we don't put away our chances. We don't put away our chances, and I think that the reality is that the reason why United lost today is because of the attackers. That's the reason Manchester United lost today. It's not because of Luke Shaw. And as I think Raul Thomas says, can't blame Shaw for defeat, no clinical finishes. Exactly. I don't blame this loss on the defense. So I think if it was 0-0, I would have said Wan-Bissaka was good, Luke Shaw was good, etc. Our defense was fine. The issue was our attackers. I don't know what's happened to Rashford. I don't want to say what happened to Rashford. Rashford's doing what he often tends to do, which is either playing for an injury or he's being selfish. There are a few times again this game where you're like, look around, make a pass, Bruno's in, and even under Ollie, we said this a few times where like our attackers, United lack a clinical number 9. And I do think that someone like Harry Kane, who can come into the midfield, and carry the ball, and also be in a box and score goals, I think will be an important side if we can sign him. Personally, I think that, you can make a case for Osimhen as well. Osimhen, I don't think necessarily has the I won't say technical ability, but I would say he's not a possession team. Let's put that a possession player. So, but at the end of the day, like Luke Shaw at the same time, he shouldn't be making a mistake like Luke Shaw. It's a handball. There's no doubt about that. Now, I'd make an argument that I don't know how that penalty was a penalty for Liverpool, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's a handball. I can't debate that. It's a handball. There's nothing. I don't know why his hand is out like that. You cannot have especially with VAR now. You're an experienced professional now. You cannot have your handball out. You need to switch on concentration, etc. So if we keep it stacked, Luke Shaw did cost us a point, but overall, Brighton did deserve to win the game. For those listening, does this mean that top 4 will be in jeopardy? I still don't think so. I have said so. If we just look at the Premier League table right now, before I get to your comments, obviously 2 points behind Newcastle, but now we effectively we played essentially all the top 9 now, essentially home and away now. So when you look at United's next couple of fixtures, Bournemouth away, then we have our home games and we tend to be better at home. So you've got a home game against Chelsea, Wolves first, then Chelsea, and then Fulham. So we've got 3 home games, 2 away games. You'd expect United to get something from Bournemouth away. West Ham is going to be free. If we can win the West Ham game away, even though our away from is good, even if we win our next all of our home games against Wolves, against Chelsea, against Fulham, that would put us on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that would put us on 72 points, which is still more than enough. Liverpool can't catch us. So win all our home games, you've got top 4. At the very least, we need to. I would like a win at West Ham at the weekend or a win at Bournemouth. Okay, but we need 3 wins. We need 3 wins from our last, at least 3 wins from our last 5 games, or 9 points from the last 5 games. We should be able to get at least 9 points from these last 5 games. Especially with the form that Chelsea are on, and the home games with Wolves and Fulham. I anticipate, and Fulham and Wolves these teams aren't going to have anything to play for. They're already fairly secure, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be comfortably beating Wolves and Fulham at home. Chelsea, you never know, but they're not able to score, so we should be winning this game. So it's really just how well West Ham and Bournemouth will play away from them. But we tend to do well again. Moyes tends to give us points, man. Moyes loves to give us points. So hopefully we get the win against West Ham at the weekend. And if we do that, you're like 66 points. Liverpool, might 62, but are they really going to be able to have enough points to catch up? I don't think so. I don't think so personally. Let me just quickly look at some comments, and then I'll bring Don Smoke to have his say. Shout out to SMB who says, "Yo, what's up?" To be fair, Shaw wasn't bad till the penalty. But yeah, exactly. I put Luke Shaw on a title to just kind of not bait, but just to sort of get people to click on it, to be honest. So, but I don't blame Shaw for the loss today. I blame the lack of finishers in this squad and the lack of creative opportunities for players in the squad as well. Atonement says Weghorst can't be here next year. Weghorst can't be here. Weghorst cannot be at Manchester United next season. He can't be. he goes back to Burnley, and United needs to go out and get a striker. However, in fairness, what there were limited options. We can go out against Weghorst and say all these different players are bad, but at the end of the day, any competent ownership would have been able to see that. But the reality is that the Glazers said we don't have any money, and with the whole Ten Hag is even openly said he's like, I don't know what my summer budget is. I don't know what the summer plan is. I've got no idea what's going on because everything is being held up by the takeover. So the sooner the takeover, that's why I keep on saying I don't really, so long as we can kind of get top 4, I don't really care about anything else because we need the takeover to be done and sorted. Because the longer this takeover goes on, like McAllister, rumored to go to Chelsea, that was a player that United were potentially interested in. But he's not coming to Manchester United potentially because United can't be in negotiating any player because we have no idea what our ownership structure model is going to be like. And the Glazers, rather than say, right, I don't know going to Glazer ran, but all I'm just saying is that things would be a lot easier if the Glazers could, for goodness sake, decide whether they actually want to sell the club or not in the first place. They should have decided that before putting it on, deciding to say, yeah, we're going to sell the club, instead of the idiot siblings. So like, oh yeah, but Joel and Aaron want to stay, and the other ones want to. I'm like, you're a family, for goodness sake. You guys can't collectively decide whether you want to sell the club or not amongst yourselves. Like, what the hell? So make a decision. Do you want to sell, partial sell, investment, whatever it is, and then get it sorted? Incompetent Americans, man. So that for me is the most important thing going forward. That needs to be resolved. Because until that's resolved, as much as you can talk about Weghorst might be United's only option come the summer. Because by the time, if something gets sorted, the transfer plans happen, most of the good strikers, players, and stuff like that are gonna be gone. So Weghorst may legit be your only option as things stand. Yep, I said it. You call it RDS. You expect United to probably, yeah, exactly, yeah. But you went and watch them. I expected, because United's away form is good. The only benefit from this game is that our midfield was at least somewhat better. But yeah, I generally didn't expect Manchester United to win this game. And I don't say that as a boss. I say just when looking at United's form, I just didn't expect it. However, I still believe that United have done enough to be able to secure top 4, even if Liverpool win the rest of their games. I would be very surprised if United can't get 9 points from the last 5. We should be able to, and this is obviously assuming that Liverpool don't stumble themselves. I mean, I think Liverpool have a lot of home games, so I don't know. It's a difficult one because we're assuming Liverpool win all their home games. Do they have Brentford at the weekend? Do they beat Brentford at home? Probably, but I don't think it'll be easy. Aston Villa, same thing, probably, but will it be easy? Leicester and Southampton both fighting for their lives, and they're both away. And Liverpool's away record, just like United's, has been crap. So you don't know. You don't know of these things. But the pressure is on Liverpool, who are probably United's closest. Brighton, you can make an argument, are also closest. However, in fairness to Brighton, I would argue, have the harder fixtures. They'll probably beat Everton at home, but then they have Arsenal away, they have Newcastle away, Southampton at home, who are battling for their lives, then City at home, and then Villa away. So I cannot see Brighton winning all these games. There are a couple of L's here, possibly Newcastle, possibly Arsenal, most likely City. So that's already 9 points. So yeah, Brighton aren't getting top 4. Let's keep it a stack. They're not getting top 4. The only threat to top 4 right now is Liverpool, and don't everyone mention Spurs to me again. Don't mention Spurs to me. David Hale was hooving the ball for every time he got it. If you think we can work about getting a new keeper, I need some of what you're smoking. We do need a new keeper. I agree with you. We do. We definitely do need a new keeper. What I would say is the new keeper a priority though? I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. It's like, guys, like if the Qatar come in, happy days. Do whatever. It's fine. Do whatever. Got no problem with that. The problem is that if it's not Qatar, then I don't know what's. I don't know what you do. Legit, guys. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. I remember second it is no. I remember. I think at one point. Sorry, but don't smoke. I'm gonna bring you in. Yeah. After what I remember, Saka pocketed. Yeah, that was got a standard. I think what I noticed through the game, to be fair with Ambasaka, is what he just ended up doing was just allowing. A lot of people think, oh, he was, if you look at it, people that, oh, he's just allowing Matoma to come at him or something like that. But actually, what he was doing was that he was actually he was forcing Matoma to use his weaker foot, to come out, which I think is his left, and basically to come on in his weaker foot, so which is fair enough. So if you can't get close to a guy, at least force him to be on his weaker foot, so it'll make it harder for him. And he did that. So yeah, it was fine. Hogan feels she give Rashford a contract. Well, Rashford to PSG, man. I mean, I'll be honest. If Qatar go to PSG and we'll get Mbappe, who's complaining? Didn't watch the game, but I think you guys are fine for top 4. Your schedule is favorable. Possibly, we'll see, Mike. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I would have argued they've got to get at least 9. They've got to get at least 9 points. Come on. Right. Let me bring Don Smoke in, who's been waiting for what feels like forever. And only when United lose. But Don, how are you doing?
I'm well in your ears. How are you doing, man?
I'm
I
fine.
I don't feel too good for you guys. I don't like when any Mancunian team loses.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I believe you, but sorry, go on. I'm listening. What's your verdict on this game?
My verdict is Brighton played well, but they just couldn't finish. We've seen this before, but United hung in there, right? Uh, I like Ten Hag's pragmatism, right? It shows a bit of maturity, right? He understands what he's working with. Brighton could have been a 3-2, 3-3, 4-3 kind of game. Martial looks cooked. Rashford, I think he didn't get as much joy as he was looking for. Casemiro looks washed, man. Literally, this guy deceived you, right? He has a bit of brain fuzz. That's what I would say with him. Shaw actually was pretty solid until his back of the hand pass. I think he was trying to play the ball through to Rashford.
Oh, sorry. The only thing I would say in defense of Luke Shaw to a certain extent is that the foul before that wasn't a foul. I don't know what Andrew Mano was doing. It was weird. I was like, it wasn't a foul. So, because obviously, had it not been a foul, then it wouldn't have been too so. But I'll just point that out there from a refereeing standpoint. Like, it wasn't. I know it's a game, so what happens, but it actually wasn't a foul that led up to that thing. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, ifs, buts, maybes. It's what it is. All I saw is Shaw's backhand pass to. I think he was looking for Bruno though. To be fair, to start the counter attack. Only thing is he used his hand instead of his head, but he was trying to play Bruno. From what I saw, play Bruno and then get Rashford down the line. Just like sometimes players forget that in their positions they can't use certain body parts. Right, but I think it will be an interesting last 4 or 5 games of the season because I see you playing against 3 relegation teams, right? And you'll never know, right? The relegation teams being West Ham, Forest, and Chelsea, right? So you will never know what Chelsea. So so those
Don,
aren't
come
guaranteed
on.
points.
A Chelsea relegation team now. Come on, Don. Are we saying Chelsea relegation team at this point?
No, like the Frank, right? The Frank couldn't pull anything against Arsenal, so you'll never know who he might pick up. One of those,
Don't
because
smoke.
I still
Don't smoke.
see.
Don't smoke. They're about to call him 007 at the weekend if he loses to Bournemouth.
Yeah,
That,
but now
that,
the thing is this, right? I feel as if Chelsea have one more performance within them, and someone will be a victim. It will be one of those odd results whereby we didn't see that from anywhere. I still remember us drawing to West Ham last season, 2-2. They were losing 2-0 first off. That
mm.
performance was from nowhere. And
Who's
it
got
was at home.
who?
Away, I think.
I mean, I know United can finish, but who's going to score Chelsea's goals though?
That's the thing, though.
That's the. I don't disagree with you, but I'm like,
no, but
okay,
what I'm saying, you could get another. Look at today, right? Brighton didn't look like scoring.
that's
They
true.
did not.
That's true.
But from nowhere, the thing is, what you forget is you still have a Bozo backline. That's what you forget, right? You have bozos in your backline, and they can pull a mistake out of it. It could be a
True.
mistimed tackle, a Casemiro red card. If you watch today's game, Casemiro wasn't too far from another booking, right?
Yeah.
Hence, I'm saying one decision that doesn't go your way, and then it sways momentum from you to the opponent, and that's because today it was a draw written all over it. But out of nowhere, you literally handed them the 3 points. Hence,
Yeah.
I'm saying,
3 points. Exactly. No, I
and your
agree.
players are not too far from that. You have players who can do such things, right?
I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. The thing
Agree.
though is, I think it's more up to Liverpool, right? Because more
Yeah.
up to how Liverpool does, right? Because at the end of the
Liverpool.
day, if you drop points and they drop points, then it's pointless.
Yeah.
And also
Liverpool.
Liverpool are also conceding.
Yeah.
They're playing off miracles. If you see the last few
Yeah. I
games,
mean,
it's literally
yeah.
a penalty
Spurs.
here, penalty there.
Spurs should have. Let's keep it aside. Spurs weren't bottle jobs. They should have sawn out that game, and it would have been a draw. And that penalty against Liverpool, I've never saw an air penalty before, but
Exactly
like
my point.
that wasn't a penalty. So I've seen air penalties. So so they're getting a bit of the rub of the green. So, but you're right. The pressure is on Liverpool to win all their games. In all of them, they have to win all of their games because you said if they lose one of them or drop points, it's irrelevant because United still have games
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
games.
So it'll be an interesting end of the season, right? A very interesting one, right? It's because, and plus you guys still have to go to Newcastle, if
No,
I'm
we've
not
been to
mistaken.
Newcastle. No, we've already been to Newcastle. We lost. Remember,
Have
2-0.
you guys played each other
Yeah, we
twice?
played it. They came here. They came to Old Trafford. We drew, and then we lost to them at Old Trafford. So here's the fixtures. I'll show you. We don't have any team in the top. Let me go. So last five. So West Ham away. It's fine. Moyes likes to give us points, so it's okay.
Yeah, but
United against Wolves, Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home, and then Fulham at home. So these are
yeah,
fine because
Fulham.
these are basically mid-table teams that don't have anything to play for really at this point. So I'm not worried about, and they're at home, so I'm not worried about these. Chelsea, anything can happen. You're right. However, I'm thinking at the point
And
that we
even Fulham is not an easy game. Fulham is not an easy game. That's what I can tell
no,
you.
it's not. No, it's not
And
an easy game, but like it's the last game of the season. So a lot of it's more like it's the
exactly,
last game of the season. But
because
by
yes,
then, you're gone.
look at this narrative, right? Let's say, for example, you guys need a win to secure your third place, last game of the season. Then now it's more of Fulham players will be psyched for that game. Like, no, we could stop these bums from Manchester getting the top 4 spot. Then it becomes so. Now the thing is this: if you've already, like, let's say you guys are 4 points clear, then there is nothing to play for. But if you're 3 points clear and Liverpool have a chance of getting in, then it becomes that thing of whereby we can stop these
Well,
guys.
it's just the thing is that like I don't disagree, but it's like for that to happen, we'll be talking about a scenario where like United would have to be losing at least 2 or 3 of these games. So United going to lose to
That's
West
not
Ham
wrong.
away, United Wolves at home, and Bournemouth away. I don't know. Like I think that like
No, no, no. Forget losing. Forget losing. You guys
mm,
could get a draw, or like a draw or two, right? Trust me. Like, especially even Wolves, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, these are not foregone conclusions. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, that. And the way you guys are playing, you guys are not impressive, right? I didn't watch the Aston Villa game, but the other games I watched, you guys, especially in the second halves, you guys, and you don't have that form that you guys once had. You guys are
mm.
not playing like, and
No,
you're not
no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
putting
not.
teams
I'm not.
away.
I'm not doubting that. But the point I'm trying to make is that like fundamentally is that like is that United only need to get 9 points from the last last 5 games.
That's 3 wins
Liverpool,
out of 5.
yeah, three wins out of 5 effectively. So, and that's Liverpool need to or potentially 400 or whatever. Liverpool need to win all of their games. So this conversation is
Who's
mute.
Liverpool playing?
So Liverpool, to be fair, I think Liverpool's games are, well, I mean, it depends, reasonable. So let's have a look. Before I come to the comments, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Do you think United, in fact, I might put a poll in the feed. Do you think United will get top 4? Let me just put that poll up. Will United get top 4? So just vote in the chat. That's a poll. Just let me know. Do you think Manchester United will get top 4? And also make sure you like the vid, guys. I've got 27 people watching, so please like the vid. It helps the algorithm. And please do. Oh, all right, okay. Don Smokers is left. He's got a moment to take, a call to take. But yeah, for Don Smokes information, so he'll see. Liverpool have to play. I mean, these guys were fugazi results, man. These were such fugazi results. So, but anyway, it's fine. As was this, man. Jeez, Liverpool. We literally switched with Liverpool, and Liverpool have got the fugaziness. So I hope that Brentford can do us a favor at Anfield, man. Because if Fulham can, please Brentford, please Tony, do something. If Brentford can just get that dub at Anfield, then I don't have to worry about anything anymore. Like, we need at least a Liverpool loss from somewhere, whether that's Brentford or Villa, although they're at Anfield. We need a dub somewhere, or at least a drop of points, because I think that even if this is a draw, then suddenly the maximum amount of points Liverpool can get is 69 points, and then you're talking, okay, great. United only need to get two wins, and possibly something, and then we're good. So we'll see what happens. Let me quickly look at the comments, guys. Remember, like the vid, guys. Like the vid and subscribe if you're new. It goes a long way. I always love these match reactions when they're interactive. Make sure you get your votes in as well. And then we're going to go for the player ratings as well before we round things up. Let's have a look. Yeah, David T says, Shaw was actually good playing out of his position until that one mistake. He'll iron it out. I'm not worried about top 4. We'll stumble our way there. Albert Conan says, Ten Hag out, please. Come on. Although I am starting to question his game management. I am beginning to start to question his game management. This is getting quite frustrating. United, Nweka Chukwaka, shout out to you, bro. Says United's second half performance should be a thing of worry for all United fans. They just say, yeah, and I agree. This is a very good comment. I agree. I think that there is, but I think that's more about Erik Ten Hag's game management more than anything. I think Erik Ten Hag's game management needs to improve because, all the subs that we've made, especially bringing Weghorst on, have made the team worse. So I'm hoping, like one thing that I'm hoping, in fairness on the bright side, is that I think Garnacho, fingers crossed, Garnacho is going to be back for West Ham because we needed that. We needed an impact sub. I don't know what's happened to Pellistri. He doesn't seem to favor Pellistri. I don't know why, but Garnacho is coming back. Garnacho will be in contention, and so at least, if you've got a situation where, because you'll keep Rashford on. If you've got a situation where we now need to make subs, suddenly now, if you're going to start Martial and Rashford, you can take Martial off, you can move Rashford to the 9, you can bring Garnacho on to run at and give us some pace, and that I think will be different. So, although it does sound boom and gloom, Garnacho, will do something. F2 Jar says Liverpool look good. Liverpool do look good. You're right. Liverpool look very good. However, Liverpool probably left it a little bit too late to be good. That's the problem. Had they been good before, and actually, to be honest, no, I take that back. How? Like, they conceded 3 to Spurs at home. They got a dodgy penalty against Salah at home. West Ham was even fugazi. And Forest, they're conceding. Look at these goals. Look at these goals. They're conceding. No, actually, yeah. I mean, they're scoring. Shout out to them scoring goals because their attackers are back, because Diaz back, etc. But defensively, they've been awful. And at some point, hopefully, in one of these 4 games, it's going to bite them in the butt. It's going to bite them in the butt. And I'd be interested to see how Brentford play, because Brentford play against Liverpool, especially with Tony going up against, I don't know, Aura Van Disney or whatever he's doing right now, or he's Aura defending. Yeah, I know that's how you win. So, but unfortunately, at some point, just like you have today, you have to be able to also keep clean sheets, because that's how you lose. So you can't keep on conceding 2 or 3 goals and not expect it to bite you in the butt at some point. And possibly in these last 4 games, it will. The one thing I can at least give about Manchester United, at least recently, aside from the blips against the big games against City and Liverpool, is that generally speaking, that we don't tend to concede that many goals. There's a reason why David De Gea is in for I think it's Golden Glove contention for most clean sheets. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm still fairly confident with the games that United have left. And like I said, when you look at assuming Liverpool win their games, you probably think we can get 9 points on the 3. A win against Bournemouth, a win against West Ham, and then suddenly you need 2 wins in your last 4 games, and you've got 3. I think that's why this West Ham game is going to be crucial. If United can somehow get a win against West Ham, David Moyes give us points, then really you only need to get you only need to get 2 wins. Keep on moving this around. You only need to get 2 wins in your last 4. And you have 3 home games. I'd be very, very surprised if United can't get at least 2 wins from these home games. So for me, the West Ham game this weekend was, if we lose to West Ham at the weekend, then it's, or don't win, then maybe it's a bit of a squeaky bum time. It might be a bit of squeaky bum time. Newcastle, on the other hand, let's have a look at Newcastle, because played the 71 points. Newcastle obviously have a big. I mean, Newcastle aren't necessarily out of the window themselves. I mean, I expect them to beat Leeds and Leicester, but they have Arsenal at home, which will be difficult. I think it'll be a difficult game, but they could lose points there. And obviously, they play Brighton as well at home, which could be difficult for them as well. But they also have mostly home games as well, and obviously have Chelsea away, which I don't know how Chelsea will be at this point. It's very difficult to decide how Chelsea will be. You just don't know about Chelsea right now. Tap boy, y'all will be fine once you get Lisandro Varane back. I think you have the same. Yeah, Varane, I think coming back. Oh, guys, there's almost 50 people watching. Please like the video and subscribe if you're new, and join the Red Army. Really appreciate it, guys. Please continue to subscribe and support the channel, guys. It means a lot. Please do. But yeah, if you're new, if you're not new, then by all means, so keep with the conversation as I go into the player ratings. You'll be fine once you get your Buns, but I think you have a safe enough cushion for top 4. I think Varane, from injury news, Varane will hopefully be back next week. So this is what I'm saying. This is the good thing, is that it's annoying, but we are getting people back at the right time. Garnacho will hopefully be available in contention for West Ham, and Varane will hopefully be coming back next week. So that is good. That is good, and we'll see what happens. David De Gea being in the Golden Glove contention this season is. I know it is. It is. But that's what I'm saying. So for me, the biggest issue United this season is that. And we United need a number 9, man. Because I know, yes, Manchester United, 50-50 in terms of the votes. Please vote in the poll chat. I know, yes, we got battered against, Brentford away, Liverpool away, City away. Yes, I get that. However, I don't know. I think that it should still be enough, but that's my personal opinion. Chelsea did last year. What did Chelsea do last year? Overtakers? What did Chelsea? I can't remember. What did Chelsea do last year? F2. What did Chelsea do again? Not that it matters anyway now because we know where Chelsea is. The thing with Liverpool that worries me is the away form. If we were better on the road, I'd be more comfortable getting fourth. I don't think your home. I mean, your home has been good, but I mean, you conceded 3 goals to Spurs. They came back 3-3 at home. Like 3-2, same thing against Forest. 2-2 against Arsenal. I don't even necessarily think that your home form has been, okay, lip 7-0. Yeah. So, but it's not been that great. But I agree with you. But the thing is, your away teams are against Leicester and Southampton. So I would expect, as Liverpool have a good enough team that they Leicester and Southampton on such abysmal form and are possibly going to get relegated, that I expect you to put these guys to bed. I think these should be wins. If you're losing against Leicester away and Southampton away, then you don't deserve to get top 4. The hardest game that I see here is actually your home games against Brentford and Villa, and probably Brentford is going to be the hard. Villa at this point probably don't care, but Brentford I think will probably be the hardest game this weekend if there's a slippage. Hi. Guys, join. Yes, thank you to you guys. Join it. Hit that subscribe button. More than 50 people watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit it. Subscribe and follow RDS, man. RSV says people need to stop being reaction. It's not like as if Liverpool will win every game. Well, I mean, they could. This is the thing. They could, because their fixtures, as you can see, are pretty good. So they could. They've got 4 home games, so they could. So I wouldn't. But for me, like, if Brentford could get a dub at the weekend, then I'll relax. But realistically speaking, they're probably going to be Leicester City away and Southampton away, given how bad their form is. And then Villa, you don't know. But they're at home, so I give advantage. So it's not unfeasible to see Liverpool win those games. So the onus is on United. United need 9 points, essentially. And we need to get 9, and we should be getting 9 points. It should be 8 points, because we should have got a draw from this game. But United need to get those 9 points. Is it 7, 8? Yeah, because it would be 71, but the goal difference would Liverpool's goal difference is far superior. So we need to get 9 effectively. And given that these games, a win against West Ham, then suddenly you only need 6 points, and then 6 points in your last 2. Come on, you should be able to get a win against Wolves at home, and then like in an ideal world, you win these 3 games. There's nothing. It's over. It's over. There's nothing to. You've secured it. So the fate is in United's hand. Beat West Ham, beat Wolves, beat Bournemouth away. Job done. That's it. We shouldn't have to leave it to the last 2 games. Because Chelsea and Fulham could, although their home games backs up, they could be bogeys. But I don't want us drawing to Chelsea, for goodness sake. We should be beating Chelsea at this point. They are not a good team. This summer you have to go out for probably the attack, be it Kane or someone young. You need someone who's... Well, you're right, Tapua. You are absolutely right. The problem is, however, is that when you have a situation where United have where we don't have any clear direction of ownership, then you can't begin to have those. Like, if we had new owners now, you could have already had a pre-contract discussion with Kane, and Bob's your uncle. There'd have been no problem. But because we have no idea where we are going, that's it. HH is laughing at us while that. Why is he laughing? Is he laughing? Did he post a video or something? Like, let me know, where's he laughing? Where's this dude laughing? Because I haven't seen a video in posted. So, but I mean, it is what it is. He takes quite joy. I see you in the back, AD. I'll bring you in for the chat as well. But yeah, I don't get what I mean. guys, this is where Chelsea are, man. You know, if results go certain ways at the weekend, if Bournemouth beat Chelsea, if Wolves win their game, then Chelsea could be 14th by the end of this weekend. If Wolves and Bournemouth win their games, I think Wolves are playing Villa, aren't they? Yeah, I think they are. If you're a Chelsea fan, it's squeaky bum time. Because if you're now 14th, and West Ham get their dub of the weekend, I don't know who West Ham are playing. I think they're playing. Are they playing? Is it City? No, they played against City before. Oh, it's us. Crap. But darn it, I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because we need to beat West Ham to beat United. We need we need United to beat West Ham for top 4. But conversely, you know, I would really love to see Chelsea get relegated. I really, really, really would love to see Chelsea get relegated. It's not going to happen, but I really would want to see them get relegated. So, you know, maybe a loss to West Ham on the weekend isn't the end of the world if it meant Chelsea got relegated. You know. All right, let me read some comments. I'm going to bring in AD, and we'll have a session. 72 people watching. Guys, like the vid. Guys, please subscribe if you're new. It goes a long way. Please, it goes a long way. So please subscribe to the channel. Can't wait for the hangout. If there is one today, I don't think there shouldn't be. I'd be very surprised if HH was to do a hangout on a Brighton away game when Chelsea got all sorts of problems. Inshallah, Chelsea do United in K27. Well, you need to beat Bournemouth first, otherwise it's 0-7, man. ADSC in the back. So we need like at least 3 midfield in order to really start controlling Dominic again after we get a striker and new goalkeeper. Well, you're right. That's a great theory, RS3. At least until we get new owners. If the Qataris come, then yeah, that's fine. The Qataris don't come, then what can you say? Let me check this Twitter post. What has he done on Twitter? What is he doing? Manchester United, you're still bums and still lower than us. What? I've just seen the tweet, guys. Sorry, guys. Let me just respond to this. Sorry. I'm just about some. I've just sent a reply saying this is why it's going to be 007 at the weekend. I don't feel sorry for this guy anymore because like at the end of the day, he does it to himself. He does it to himself. Like I don't deserve. Yes, you do deserve because you keep on like you've not won a game since the beginning of March, and you're busy bantering United. It's funny. I respect the shamelessness. I can't see the Glazers selling. Yeah. He's laughing at us and Arsenal, this man. I'm just watching it. This is why it's going to be 0-7 on January, man. This guy is funny. HH Frog Stones, every club is in. I know exactly. Yeah, in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, this is the best comment of the channel. This is the best comment. Like he's inviting relegation energy. Like I want to see Bournemouth slap these guys at the weekend, man. Please. I want to see United versus Real Madrid next season. I want to too. Highland Jinx idea says West Ham gonna come up with a shot win on Sunday like tonight. Chelsea when you battle for bottom next year. Yeah, I mean West Ham are battling for relegation, but how are we? I don't know. I can't call the West Ham game. West Ham is because Moyes, when we play against West Ham, anytime we play, Moyes always. I know how he'll set up counter-attack. He'll give us the ball, and then we need to break them down. And this is why I think that someone like Eriksen needs to play against West Ham at the weekend because that is how West Ham will play. They're not going to dominate us in the midfield. They're going to give us the ball, and they're going to counter with Antonio, etc. So we need to break them down. And if we break them down, we effectively won the game. Concede to West Ham to get us relegated. I mean, that's there is an element there. That's why I'm not overtly bad about it. Big up RDS. Everyone keep hitting like. United lost, but still games in hand. This still needs a wake-up call. And then shame for relegation is right. Let me just get some of these guys in. Have been waiting for ages. Pride says you're not. So I'll get AD in. Pride, it says your device is not connected. So I don't know what's going on there. So I'll get RSV in. Hi. How are you doing? RSV, how are you doing? I think
this is my debut. This is my debut, yeah.
I was going to say, I think this is the first time on the channel. So welcome to Red Devil Studio, man. Appreciate it. Obviously, AD's been here before. And obviously, for those who are watching, please go and subscribe to AD's channel. It's it's generally football related. So, but he's a Barca fan, so he covers lots of La Liga. So, RSV, what are your thoughts on the game?
I felt like it was more or less like, second half we were definitely outplayed. So I felt that we deserved to lose based on how we played in that second half, because we just couldn't soak up their pressure. Like, it was so frustrating with the many first balls and second balls, especially watching Fred in that midfield area. He kept losing the ball many times, which resulted in constant turnovers, and luckily our defense showed up. But we can't obviously blame Luke Shaw and our entire defense to hold the game for too long, because that attack was dreadful in that second half. And the more and more defensive outside defensive performances you make, the more and more pressure gets built up. So it made sense for Luke Shaw to handball at around the 94th minute, I believe. So we can't obviously blame Luke Shaw and our defense, because Luke Shaw was pretty outstanding, especially in that second half. But yeah, man, it was just so frustrating, man. The fact that we lost control in that midfield in the second half, and we couldn't soak up their pressure. Even the first half, we couldn't soak up the pressure as well, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah,
I mean, I'll keep it stacked. I mean, even though we lost, to be honest, I argue that we still overplayed better than that Wembley game. Like that Wembley game, we were being destroyed. Like it was purely our defensive structure that got us to this game.
Exactly.
And obviously the penalties, because even though we lost this game 90 minutes, I still think in terms of performance, we actually played better today than we did at Wembley, because Brighton just dominated us for a lot of that game in that Wembley game. Sorry, go on.
Exactly. Ironically, though, in that Wembley game, as soon as Fred came on, they gave us more balance and stability in that midfield area, as we were, I think, winning a lot of second balls in their half.
Yeah.
But in today's game, I thought we were better that we were playing better in the first half, but second half that attack was just atrocious, man. Martial was so lazy, and he did not time his runs perfectly, and he was horrible in link up play, and even Rashford and Anthony were too greedy as well. Their decision making on that final third was atrocious, and
it's starting to annoy me. Well, it's been annoying me for a while, but I mean, it's we can talk about we can even go on about Maguire, Etal, etc. So, but the reality is that if Maguire was playing in a City team, for example, right, where but you have all those craze in the City team, you have Erling Haaland. What does it matter if Maguire makes one mistake a game? Because you're putting six away, so you can kind of ignore it. Of course, you can get better, but you can ignore it. The reason why, even though I think Maguire is still not good enough, but the reason why there's so much focus is because, in all honesty, we're not creating enough chances and we're not scoring enough goals. If you're scoring enough goals, then a defensive lapse here or there doesn't sense. And our strikers, not strikers, our forwards, as you rightly said, are either being too selfish. There were a lot of times together, Rashford had some clear chances to just square it, and you're like, why the hell have you decided to go on and take a shot? But sorry, go on before I move on.
You're good, no worries. Yeah, as I was saying, I think was it in the second half, Bruno, Rashford was up against Webster and Lewis Duncan. There was acres of space available for Bruno. If Rashford passed it, Bruno would have nicked it in. But
that's the one that I was thinking of. Yes, yeah. And he didn't do that. He did the opposite.
Yeah, that pissed me off, and Anthony, I think, hit it wide in the first half. I think the first 5 minutes.
Mm, mm.
hmm But I think overall, like the midfield also needs to like be heavily blamed because Fred is not good when we're up against like teams that play a high line that like always like soak up a lot of pressure that like presses high because like he panics when he's like under pressure and like he ain't a good like
Yeah.
number 8 in that like partnership with Casemiro. Like I think even if we start him against West Ham on Sunday, I don't think he'll play horrible like he did today though because like
Mm.
because like he is good when he's like up
I
against
think I think the thing with Fred is that like I feel Fred's best attribute is that especially is that he is a presser. His energy and his pressing.
Exactly.
So when we have Fred, like we can actually press and kind of sort of like win the ball high up the field, get the momentum, etc. If we're not pressing, so if the tactic from the coach is to sort of to soak up pressure, which it was in the last 10 or so minutes or so, then Fred is fairly useless. Although I would argue he still is a bit more. I still argue he's more defensively solid than McTominay and
Exactly.
Eriksen. So it's a difficult one. Yes, he gives the ball away, but Eriksen and McTominay don't have any legs, so people just bypass them. Like they won't even be able to even commit the tackle, let alone pass the ball, because they're being bypassed by people, which is what we saw against Brighton and Wembley. Like Eriksen was just getting bypassed.
Exactly.
Like, just bypassing him. So. But sorry, just go on.
Yeah, I don't think Ericsson has the legs to like play for an entire 90 minutes, especially in a deeper position. Like he needs to be utilized more in the number 10 role because he doesn't like obviously do his defensive work, which makes life more difficult for Casemiro. Like for compared to what he did at Madrid, like Casemiro is definitely doing like more than he's like definitely doing double the work in our midfield than what he did at Madrid. So
yeah,
that's one thing to take into account. And like like even Ericsson Ericsson is obviously magnificent against low block, so hopefully he starts on the game on Sunday against West Ham. But like man, like I do think that we need like at least like 2 or 3 midfielders, obviously for squad depth and because like also Ericsson and Casemiro are like aging, so like we need to like fill those positions, and like we need like we obviously need like a backup for Casemiro and like a new like deep line playmaker or number 8 who would work well in that double pivot who would help us like control games.
RSV, you're preaching to the choir. And if we had an owner like Todd Bowley or someone who'd be able to spend and sign 8 or so players or 10 in one season, then we probably would have what you're talking about. Unfortunately, know that the ownership situation, and so the owners. So Chelsea at Todd Bowley gets you João Felix on loan, for example, in the January to try and sort that problem. A Glazer gives you Wout Weghorst. You kind of see the issue that Manchester United have, so where you've let Ronaldo go, Cavani's gone, Greenwood, enough said, you're down effectively 3 strikers, not including the likes of Pogba, Mata, Lingard, etc., and other attackers, and your replacement for those players is Anthony and Weghorst. And that's it, because we haven't signed any other additional like attack force to replace those that I mentioned. It is literally, I guess, it's a bit Pogba replacement. I don't know. Maybe Casimiro's a match replacement. Sabitzer possibly. You can make an argument Sabitzer's probably used for like Mata. Let's say I would argue Sabitzer a good replacement for Mata, but that's it. So, but yeah. Pride. Sorry. What are your thoughts on this game?
Hey, Ardius, it's been a while.
It has been. I hope you're doing well. You're doing well, buddy.
Yeah. I watched a majority of the game, and I'm not pissed about the result because I expected an L, but it's just the manner in which we lost. Like for me, a draw in this fixture is just as good as a loss. Like right now, if you just see the league table, like we only need 3 wins out of our next 5. Am I right?
Yes, 9 points from the next 5 games, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if we can't, and also if you see our toughest fixture, like arguably, is against Fulham at home. That's like they're like the highest placed position team in the league, that we have to face. So if we can't get 9 points out of 15, then I don't think we deserve top four. I don't think we deserve top four. So just quickly on the game, I think first half we were the better team, but I think second half, I don't know why this happens. This happens all the time. Like in our last couple of games, ever since I think, was it Tottenham? I think it was Tottenham. Yeah, we always fade in the second half for some reason. In the first half, like against Villa, against Tottenham, against in this game as well, we were all like, in this game we didn't have the possession, but we were creating chances, we were creating opportunities, but we still we just can't finish. We just can't put these teams to bed. And second half, when we come out, I don't know what goes on in that half, but second half, it's like these guys switch off. These guys it's like they're going through the motions. And I don't know why that happens. Maybe I don't know if it's a manager thing. I don't know if it's because of fatigue or tiredness. I don't know if it's because of the fixture congestion, but that problem needs to be addressed right away if we are to get 9 points out of 15. Because we have to play West Ham and Bournemouth away. So if we can win one of those games, or ideally if we can win both of them, we need to fix this issue of coming out on the second half the second best team on the pitch. So we need to address that issue. Today, I'm not going to blame Luke Shaw overtly.
Is that the players, or do you think that's Ten Hag's in-game management?
I don't think Ten Hag goes to them and says, take it easy in the second half, drop the intensity.
But he makes the subs though.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, RDS. What other subs would you have made?
Very similar.
Ooh, what's that? Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. Let's just have a quick look at the lineups. Okay, so
because I think he brought on Sabitzer, Sancho, and Weghorst, right?
I would have put on, because he took off. Who did he take off? He took off Anthony, Fred, and Martial. So and he brought on Sancho. That's fine. The Sabitzer's fine. I mean, the only thing I would have done differently, which I don't really get, is possibly instead of bringing on Weghorst, you bring on Palestri for legs.
Yeah, but I don't know, because Palestri instead of Martial.
No, but the thing is, what does Weghorst like? Weghorst doesn't like. I love the guy, but he doesn't hold up the door. He doesn't do anything. So it's fair enough. It would be a different story if Weghorst came on to hold on the ball and keep it up and see out the game, but he doesn't do that.
The thing is, I can see why he brought him, because I don't know if you read this. There's a tweet out at halftime that Erik ten Hag, he was actually cussing and shouting at Martial for not pressing. He was slapping his thigh, he was shouting at him, cussing him to Martial for not pressing. So I can kind of understand why he brought on Weghorst, because he wanted that. Weghorst doesn't offer anything. I know what you mean, RDS, but the one thing he does offer is that he presses at least, So I think he wanted him for that.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're that's what I'm saying. So if you're gonna do that, you do that from the beginning, or from 6-something minutes. You don't bring because he came on at about 85 minutes. At 85 minutes. Now's not the time to bring on someone who's going to press.
Yeah, I guess that was a mistake from Ten Hag. He should have brought him on earlier, because around the 60th. Sorry to cut you off, RDS, but around the 65th minute or the 75th minute, 70th minute, he should have brought him on, because you should have sensed that the game was changing. We had nothing in the second half like we did in the first, so we should have changed that up, and we should have gone with a different personnel up front, because even if you notice, in the second half we weren't playing out of the back, we were just hoofing the ball upfield. Yeah. So if we had someone like Weghorst, I know he's not good holding up the ball, but he's at least much better than Martial. Martial today, you can see that his legs are gone. He's been shot, because he takes 4 or 5 touches to turn 180 degrees. And by that time, all the Brighton players who are in our half, they have
Yeah.
enough time to run to the other half, you know?
I think
And like, even if there was like one passage of play where we had the ball in their half and their line was really up. Bruno passed a lob pass to Marcia, but he couldn't even control it.
you could
I don't.
you could make an argument at this point that that you probably start Sancho, put Sancho on the left. If you're going to start, because thank God that Garnacho looks like he might be available for West Ham. That's a huge boost because we've missed. I'm not saying Garnacho is like world class or whatever, but we missed having an option. And Garnacho did bail us out a few times early on this season, most notably against Fulham before the break. If you remember Garnacho's goal there, So, if I was Ten Hag, if Garnacho's available and ready, you start Garnacho. What you do for me is you start Sancho on the left and Anthony on the right, and you start Rashford as number 9. Okay, and then you can then bring on Martial and Garnacho potentially.
Thing is, RDS, I wouldn't even start Sancho. I would start Garnacho.
It's just because he's not played for a while, so that's why I'd rather
probably
ease him in. An away game to West Ham is still quite difficult. So I'd rather him like start a home game against Wolves, which is reasonable. You start Garnacho at home, put him there, and then you can play Rashford in the number 9. So like we played against City, to a certain extent, play Rashford 9, have Ante on the right, put Garnacho on the left, and then do things that way, and then see what happens.
And as for one final point, and as for this, sorry, RDS, but one final point. As for this,
so let me just artists. I think people are reacting. We all need 71 points. Technically, we need 72 because our goal difference is so inferior to Liverpool. So we need 72. So that's 9. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, final point. As for this, Mr. Potato Head on Twitter, trolling us for losing this game. I hope he wins this game on the weekend, because if he doesn't, RDS.
It's 007 time. I was surprised. People like, why is I was like, oh, HSM was like, what? What is he?
Didn't they lose 4-1 to Brighton at home?
They did. No. They
lost 2-1 at Stamford Bridge, but that was a flattering scoreline. That would have been like 5 or 6-1.
Yeah, had they had a striker. That's the irony, is that like Brighton scored from open play against Chelsea. They needed a penalty to score against us.
Yeah, see, that was at Stamford Bridge. Did they beat them 4-1 at Brighton's home ground?
It was 3-0, I think, if I recall. I think
it was 4-1.
It was 4-1.
It was 4-1. All right, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's got the balls to come and troll us,
I was angry that Brighton were not clinical when they beat them 2-1, because it would have been nice if they were 4-0 up by halftime. I remember watching that game. The first half was a training session for Brighton.
I mean, Arsenal, when they were 3-0 up, I was like, come on, guys. Like, Ted, I'm genuinely looking forward to what's going to, because like Chelsea's last 2 games are City and Newcastle. And I'm genuinely looking forward to how, because Newcastle look good. Newcastle playing really. I'm not going to hate if Newcastle finish above United, because they deserve it, because they've been playing very, very well, and they deserve this. They deserve top 4, in my opinion, over, because people are gassing Liverpool, but Liverpool have been crap most of the season. I've only started to play well in these last couple of games. We'll see what happens. But if Newcastle and Chelsea can just drop at least a 5 or 6 piece against Chelsea in the last 2 games, I'll be very, very happy.
But RDS, I wanted to ask you, could you, I don't know if you did this already, but could you go over the remaining fixtures and let us know what do you think is going to happen in the remaining games?
Yeah,
I'm not. The thing is, I'm not going to watch them. It's too tense for me to watch them.
I'll do that, but I just want to quickly, because AD hasn't spoken yet. Awesome. AD, right. You have your thoughts, and I'll quickly do that, and then we'll probably round things up. Okay, go on. AD, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I didn't really get to see this game much. I was kind of more focused on the Napoli game. So.
Yes. Shout out to Napoli. Congratulations to Napoli for winning Serie A, man. So, for so long. So it's a shame that it just kind of got bottled a bit up in the Champions League. So, but sorry, go on.
I think because Brighton, man, they're a good team, man, and it just shows how difficult they are. I heard they were very wasteful. They wasted so many opportunities in the game. And judging from the momentum thing in football, which I really like now, by the way, guys. If you guys didn't know, on football, it shows like the momentum of both teams, and it shows in the second half it was pretty much all Brighton, like and yeah, I mean for United, man, defensively, I think you guys have improved. I think defensively, you guys have been good. I think last season defensively was really bad. Obviously, and this season has not been defensively has been a lot better. How many? Because I think last season you guys conceded 57 goals. This season, how many goals have you guys conceded?
40.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah,
I guess
40 goals.
80 with that. Sorry to cut you off, but the thing with that is we concede a lot of goals in certain games.
Yeah,
So
certain
like,
games.
yeah, so it's like we either drop a clean sheet or we drop like a 6 or a 7 piece.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, De Gea has like 15 clean sheets. He's like top of the league right now for clean sheets. So, but we still concede at 40 goals. So you see the disparity there.
Yeah, that is true. Then that defensively, United have been good this season, I would say, barring those big demolitions that have happened. But what's happened to Rashford, man? I feel like is his like because he was in insane form, and it feels like
Rashford is doing what Rashford does. For someone who's watched Rashford is doing what I know Rashford is always does. It's just that he always does this. Like he has this insane level of form at peak parts during the season. It then somehow gets to his ego or picks a injury or whatever, and then suddenly he just basically comes to being bang average. And I think the frustrating thing about it is that if he was intelligent enough to be like, right, when I'm not playing well, to actually be able to be more intelligent and to utilize the people around him, then it wouldn't be so bad because it's like, okay, I'm not getting goals, but at least get assists to make my game more wholesome. But he just tries harder and it just doesn't work, So, but yeah, and as Mega says, back to normal because I know he doesn't like Rashford. So go on, AD.
Yeah, and then obviously I heard Anthony was pretty underwhelming today. And I just think for United, man, it's just that it's obviously disappointment to draw points to Brighton. And this is a huge win for Brighton. Like I think this win could be huge for them to potentially get a European football, which would be huge for them.
Okay, they could even finish above Liverpool, but I think that the difficulty of Brighton, is that Brighton's next couple of games are quite. If I look at the table, Brighton's where are they? Sorry, they're here, so they're sixth. But when you look at it, they have to pay. Well, Everton at home, you'd think they'd get the dub there. They've got Arsenal at the Emirates, then they've got Newcastle away as well. Southampton, you'd expect them to win there. Although, again, you can't take these for granted because they did lose to Nottingham Forest 3-1.
Yeah, and also, these clubs are battling for survival.
For survival, so you can never really sort of, can say with these. And then you're playing Newcastle and Arsenal away, which will be tough. Then you've got Manchester City in the last two, although that's at home.
That's a good game.
If there's any team that's going to take points off Manchester City, it's going to be Brighton. They're running, but whether that's going to be enough for Arsenal,
the final match day is going to be tough.
And then obviously Villa away, which would be difficult. So I just think that I can't see Brighton winning all of these games. They're going to drop points to at least 3, maybe, of these teams. Possibly 4, depending on how the regular teams do. So,
do you think a draw would work? Like if they could get some draws from those tough games?
It depends. I think also on how Villa perform as well. Liverpool obviously, I think, can win their game. In fact, this is a nice transition because I think Pride wanted me to have my just brief say on the upcoming fixtures. United. So I think with West Ham. Away, I think this is a critical game. Moyes does tend to like to give us points. I'll keep it a stack. But if United get a win, because he's like, but I know because anytime we play against Moyes at West Ham, it's always the same thing. It's like he gives United the possession, low block counter. That's it. So the task is, can United break West Ham down? This is why you need to play Eriksen, Eriksen and Casemiro in the midfield, plus or minus Bruno, Fred, or whatever. But Eriksen needs to play because you need someone who can basically pick apart this West Ham side. As soon as they concede and we score the second, it will probably be game over. We concede first and we can't create, then that's when it gets difficult. But a win against West Ham, which I expect, and then you're thinking we need 6 points from our last 4 games.
Yeah.
I'm confident against Wolves at home. Bournemouth away, the fighting relegation will be difficult. It'll be interesting to see how they play against Chelsea. But a win, a draw, I'd be very surprised about a loss with the way that Bournemouth play anyway.
Didn't they beat Liverpool at their own ground?
Did they beat Liverpool?
Yeah, they beat Liverpool. That was at their stadium, not at Anfield.
Yeah, and obviously they beat Spurs at obviously when Spurs did their constant bottle job. Man, Spurs, man.
Yeah.
In fact, a question to the panel and everyone in the chat, guys: where do people think Spurs will finish?
I think they'll finish 8th.
8th.
Yeah, me too. Probably because
they're 8th, in my opinion.
I think they might finish 9th. You know, I actually think the Brentford might finish above them because when I look at their fixtures, I'm like, I think that I can't even call the Palace game, especially with Hodgson.
Yeah,
I think they'll actually bottle it against Villa away.
Yeah, Villa.
I can see that. Yeah,
Brentford, who are the thing I'm talking about. I think Brentford could win. I think they'll probably
Leeds might win, honestly.
You know, Leeds. So I don't know. Like, I can't see with any of these games that they're definitive wins.
Wait, can you check out for the Leeds game? Oh, sorry, no, Leeds is last. Sorry,
yeah, Leeds is the last game. Yeah,
my bad.
So, yeah, it's but yeah, I as I said to so many people sometimes, I just can't see couldn't get top 4. But yeah, sorry. So just to finish it up, I expect nothing less than a win against Chelsea at home. I need a win against Chelsea at home. I need, at the very least, to shut up all the Chelsea fans. United need to beat Chelsea at home. They need.
I would love a. Yeah, sorry. I would love a 4-0 or 5-0 against Chelsea at home.
I would. I mean, if thankfully, again, hopefully Garnacho will be back. We'll have more attacking threat. You know, our players will be fit into the game, and hope. I also think what would be great is if top 4 is secure by then. I think that might give the players a bit more freedom to play.
RDS,
you know, yeah.
RDS. I think Lampard will be sacked by then.
Nah.
I think that I seriously think Lampard will be sacked. They'll hire someone like Pochettino, and that new manager bounce will give them their first win at Old Trafford. I mean, if there's any club for that to happen, it'll be against us. Trust me.
But he said that didn't he say that he wouldn't start until the end of the season though? I'm fairly sure he said that.
I don't know. Did he?
I think he said he wouldn't start until it has to be the end of the season. I don't think it'll take the.
Well, then they'll probably put like Ashley Cole in as manager, and then he'll get his first win against us.
Maybe. I just think they'll probably. I don't think they care at this point. I think they'll just keep him there until it finishes.
I mean, RDS, it happened to Tottenham. Look at what happened to Tottenham. They sacked Conte, and they hired his assistant as manager. They sacked him, and they hired his assistant as manager.
Well, Chelsea on their 4th coach this season. They sacked Tuchel, then sacked Potter, then got rid of Potter's assistant, Bruno, and then on Lampard. You mean Chelsea are going to have 5 managers in one season?
I mean, this is apparently the 2nd biggest club in the world. Well, that's what they say.
Anyway. Right, okay. So just to round up, I'll just quickly on final thoughts on and I'll just go around the panel. So obviously United do play West Ham. And for the chat as well, just quick score prediction. AD, then RSV, then Pride. And obviously, guys in the chat, put your score predictions in the chat.
I'll say 2-0 United win. Also, we have to keep. Do you think West Ham might also rotate for this game because they're going to be playing the Conference League game?
That is true. I didn't think about that. Yes, they're the Conference League the next week. Yeah. And to be fair, Moyes will probably think, hey, silverware for West Ham.
And Europa League.
You know, playing in Europe would be far better than, that's a fair point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will because like they're fighting for relegation, right?
Yeah.
But how far are they really? Let me look at how far they are actually from relegation. West Ham.
Yeah, I still don't know that.
They're 34 points. Okay, yeah. So they're 4 points from, which is still tenuous.
Wait, what about the
So
goal
I
difference?
get
Look at
that.
the goal difference. Goal difference might come into play.
13. So yeah, you got a point. It's going to be an interesting one.
Because I think that rather sacrifice Conference League than stay in the Premier League, you know?
Yeah, the money different. But I mean, you look at the teams that that I think Southampton, and Everton are going down. I think they're going down. I just
Yeah.
think they're
Yeah.
But you just look, and it could be.
Wait, can you check West Ham games actually?
And if West Ham do somehow go down, yeah, sorry to cut you
Brentford.
off.
Ooh, I mean, I didn't know they were in the semifinals. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
semis. Yeah, AZ Alkmaar. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Scratch that
That's
then.
why
I think they'll rest for the semifinal then.
because they have the first leg at home, and you're thinking like,
Yeah.
even though they're like, oh yeah, prioritize Premier League, but it's a semi, and like you've got your first chance of reaching a European Cup final in like ages. I think even West Ham fans are like, okay, yeah, we want to stay in the Premier League, but at the end of the day, it is also about silverware.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're winning your West Ham's first trophy in what is probably, I think it must have been at least 50 years.
See, I don't think they'll drop their like important players like Bowen, Rice, probably Alfana.
Will they risk them? That's the key thing.
I think they will. I think they will because I think they'll drop players like I don't know, like Cresswell.
Yeah.
Probably like Soufal, like Antonio maybe. Those kind of players. But I don't think they'll drop their important players like Bowen and especially Bowen and Rice.
It's tricky because yeah.
Sorry, Eddie, go ahead.
Yeah. So what's after the Brentford game? For West Ham.
For West Ham, is that it? I think. So I keep on moving. So Brentford away, which will be difficult. Then they have Leeds.
Oh, Leeds. That's a big
Leicester
one.
away, that's going to be very big because that could potentially decide relegation. This one.
Yeah.
Leicester,
But yeah, so RDS, do you think we'll make this this top four or?
Yeah, I've been confident.
I
I put my chest out. I said United will make top four. Now
Yeah.
it's going to be it might be squeaky bum time, but I think had we won this game and West Ham, I'd be more confident. If we beat West Ham on the weekend, I'm fairly confident because then it's like if we beat West Ham, you can only need to get 5 points, 5, 6
Yeah,
points.
thing is, if we beat West Ham, then we'll have then we still need 2 wins from 4, but 3 games out of that is at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, I will relax. Like I'm hoping that Liverpool drop points against Brentford the weekend.
Yeah,
So I think Liverpool will win these games, but if Brentford can get me a draw,
Maybe
then
Villa might be tough.
Yeah, the thing is, RDS, like this is after assuming the fact that Liverpool are going to win all of their games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they probably will because they have 2 home games and then the away games against Leicester and Southampton. So
so I probably think they will. Yeah, I think Aston Villa is our hardest game.
Yeah.
I
think Brentford's harder. I think
Brentford's harder.
I think.
Yeah.
I think Aston Villa is because like Aston Villa, I think they're in better form right now. Even though they lost against us, I think they're in better form.
I mean, unless Aston Villa play a high line at Anfield, it will be a very difficult game for Liverpool. If they play a high line at Anfield, then Liverpool will absolutely demolish them.
Yeah.
I also think Brentford have. I do think Brentford have better finishers though, and I think that like against like because I think they lost, didn't they? I think at when Brentford played Liverpool at didn't they lose or did they?
Yeah, they lost. They lost 3-1.
They lost 3-1 exactly. So then Brentford have better finishers, and Van Dijk, as he showed recently against if he's doing those dancing moves against Perisic, let alone against Brentford forwards, So if they can drop points against either Brentford or Villa, then I think that makes it a lot easier because then Liverpool can only get.
I want to see what Leicester City do because they're also fighting for survival, aren't they?
Yeah,
but I think Liverpool will win that game.
Yeah,
which clubs do you think will go down?
Everton and Southampton definitely.
Yeah,
unfortunately, and it's weird I'm saying that so casually about Everton. So it's like this Everton was considered a top 6-7 club at one point. And
Yeah,
spent
RDS, they're one of the 6, I think 5 or 6 clubs that actually laid the foundations for the Premier League.
Premier League.
They
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah, and
They're also
The fact that people so casually think Everton will go down is actually very, very weird.
yeah.
Especially given the investment that was put into the club.
Yeah,
but
and
yeah, sorry, go on.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think it's been ages. Like it's been like I think 80 years since they last got relegated because they never got relegated during the Premier League era long.
oh
Yeah.
geez, that's fixture list looks
Look at these
brutal.
fixtures: Brighton
Yeah.
away, City at home, Wolves against away, and then Bournemouth. I mean, if Sean Dyche is somewhat able to do it, like
This will be insane.
Yeah.
then it will be then fair enough to the guy. But
They just need to like park the bus in every single game. If they play a high line, they're definitely fucked.
even
Yeah.
the park of playing a park bus, like the problem with Everton this season is that like they don't have, and this is where a lot of these teams are in this position. So I'll just quickly go back. Is that, and maybe this is the summary of the season, is that aside from Erling Haaland, maybe Tony, Salah, there have not been that many. Like you look at Southampton, Everton, Forest, you're like, who are their clinical goal scorers, their go-to guys?
Yeah,
I think for Nottingham Forest, it's probably Brennan Johnson. That's like, and even Morgan Gibbs White.
And that's a stretch.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
When you look at the
Can you
goals,
check
like,
Forces games?
30 goals scored. Yeah, because this is goals scored, isn't it? I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goals scored. 30 goals, 20, 27, 28. I think that's the. I think. Let me just look. Is that the lowest in the league? Okay, Wolves only scored 29.
Oh, RDS, I also wanted to ask, what's the likelihood that Erling Haaland scores more goals than Chelsea's points?
He already has, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think.
No, he's at 35.
Oh, that's all competition. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
in the Premier League.
Yeah.
If I mean City are playing Leeds at the weekend, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Oh, do you guys hear what the Leeds coach said? Sam Allardyce.
Yeah, this guy's a clown. Well, I mean, okay, I say he's a clown, but if he does school Pep at the weekend, we'll have to have a conversation. We'll have to have a conversation if he wins the weekend. It might have to be a conversation where we had. I expect him to be baptized by Pep, but if he does somehow win,
Even Pep agrees he's better.
Because people will refer back to the clip and go, "Was he wrong then? Was he wrong?"
Yo, that clip was ridiculous. The way he said he has more Premier League experience than Pep, Klopp, and Arteta.
Honest question, says FB, do we win at West Ham? I think yes. I'm gonna stick them on and say yes, we do beat West Ham. Because of two reasons. One, their eye on the Conference League was a good shout. But two, I think Garnacho coming back is a massive boost to Manchester United. And three, I think that to be honest, I think that West with the way that West play, unlike Brighton, who will hold onto the ball, have possession, do their thing, West Ham are not going to play like that. So the incentive is on us to go and at them and score goals, and I think we've got the players to do that. You know.
Yeah, I heard one of West Ham's biggest issues is that they haven't been scoring enough goals.
Yeah. Well, looking at, I think they've scored 37. To be fair, so they're not the lowest scores, but they scored 37. But as I said before, there's a reason why the bottom three are there. These are the amount of you only scored. Everton have scored the least amount of goals in the Premier League. 27 goals.
Man, they should have kept Richarlison, man.
Yeah, they should have.
I don't know whose decision it was to sell Richarlison, to be honest. So and then not replace him with and who did you replace him with?
Neil Maupay.
Oh.
And who did that? Who did that? Who was the manager at the time that decided that was a good idea?
Super Frank Lampard.
Super Frank Lampard, exactly. Super Frank Lampard, man.
I feel bad for Sean Dyche because Lampard pretty much got them to the situation.
Yeah. But it was on. But the owners didn't sack him quick enough.
Yeah, I mean owners also I fought too. I'm not saying
why did the owners sack him at the end of January, beginning of February, when he was on like an 8-game losing run? Yeah, it's bad. So, but anyway, we've got to round up here, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on the channel. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys in the chat. Obviously, guys, make sure that you head over and subscribe to AD's channel. Really give him some love and support. We'll be back for West Ham preview on Saturday night. Yes, and there will be a match reaction at the end of that as well. Thanks to everyone who got involved. Have a nice day, everyone.
Well, I got one question.
Oh, well, go on, AD, go on.
Is there going to be a United Forum this week?
Oh yes, United Forum. Let me think. I was going to do it on Friday actually, but then I realized I want to watch the new Guardians of the Galaxy that's come out. I'm hearing good things about it. So it's Friday, so I'm going to probably take that off.
I think Marvel dropped their first ever F-bomb in that.
Oh wow!
They did.
Wow,
Yeah.
I need to check it out.
Apparently it's good because I've been most of the Marvel stuff I watched in this phase 4 has been garbage. So, but people are saying good things about this Guardians movie. So I'm like,
I'm looking forward to the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do the right. I'm hyped for that, but again, it's one of those things where I'm like, are you just gonna because the big thing about Spider was the story and the artwork, the visuals. The visuals were great, and the story
Absolutely,
was
yeah.
great. So those are probably that is my most anticipated superhero movie of the. I don't really care about the Flash, to be honest. So, and Transformers can be neither here nor there, in my opinion. But but we'll see.
Man, I just recently watched the Flash TV series, and it's garbage, man.
Oh, Flash! I stopped watching Flash after like season 4.
Yeah, I saw
garbage, man.
Season 3. It's
So you're going to be informed this week.
So yeah, sorry, I answered your question, Andy. Yeah, so if I'm going to do it, it will probably be. Oh, wait a minute, it was not be Friday. It'll probably be Saturday, and I might do it instead of the preview. So Saturday night, likely, but I'll DM you guys basically. Okay. Cool. Right. Oh, last question. People question coming in. So, also, where would you guys first want to reinforce? I think the midfield. Okay. Final question. Okay, I'll quickly go around. If you're talking about the most important position to reinforce, what would it be? FB saying midfield. I say striker as a must. But what do the rest of you guys think?
I personally think a goalkeeper, man.
Okay.
Oh, can I go?
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. Like as you said already, a striker is a must because like you just see the game today. We had so many chances, but we couldn't finish them.
Yeah.
We had a striker like Harry Kane who could drop in, feed the wingers, and if he or even an Osimhen who's like a poacher, like an in the box striker. Like we can score so many more chances. Like our conversion. Sorry.
Yeah, anyone but Weghorst.
Yeah, our conversion rate must be the worst in the league. I don't know. I haven't checked, but I assume it must be because there were so many chances we could have converted today, and we just didn't. So I think a striker is absolutely essential. Like if we could just make one signing, which would that be? I think a striker.
Yeah, striker.
That's fair.
Striker, yeah. Fair enough.
Fair. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Take care. Have a good evening. And cheers. Peace.
Peace.